You're listening to the Craft Messages That Matter podcast. My name is Theo Capodistrius, and I'm going to talk to you about all things communication, public speaking, TEDx, and all the things in between. These are going to be short episodes, and hopefully you'll gain a lot out of it. Sit back and enjoy today's episode. And welcome. I hope you're excited for episode 10 of season 1. This is the final episode of season 1 as well of the Craft Messages That Matter podcast. My name is Theo Capodistrius, and I help professional service providers, business owners, and entrepreneurs to speak up, show up, and make an impact through their voice and through their own words. I do this through a range of presentations, workshops, and my public speaking and communications coaching programs. I share a range of free content to help those who may be wanting to improve their communication and public speaking potential a little bit more. Feel free to explore my website www.theocap.com.au and my social media for hot tips and tricks to get you going. All right, let's get started. So today, I hadn't thought about what to actually say for this podcast. Normally I would write down a few dot points to get me going, but I thought today I just want to speak and see what comes out, because that might be a bit more fun. Today's episode, I thought it would be great to just do a little bit of a wrap up of 2022, the year, some of the fun things I've learned, and some hot tips to get you started for your public speaking and communication journey in 2023. So this year has been a pretty big one. It's been a big one for a number of reasons for me. I think personally, I've grown a lot, I've learned a lot, I've done a lot of different things, and I've continued to push myself. If you know me, you know that I do a lot of different things, and that is great from a professional development perspective, really exhausting from a life perspective. I'm kind of always between a whole heap of different things. I feel like I'm juggling a lot of activities, and it's pretty difficult. It is quite a challenge, but I kind of enjoy that challenge. One of the things I love is the fact that I get to do so many different things. I get to work with so many different people, from running my own business, doing stuff like this, being able to create my little podcast, to speaking on stages, locally, nationally, internationally, mostly virtually when I speak internationally nowadays, but still internationally, work with people one-on-one, and, some of my other activities as well, such as being on a board, being able to provide really awesome governance and director advice, being able to, do my job as now it's called legal and commercial manager for a really interesting organization is a lot of fun. And that's really cool. So I love that. I'm also very proud of myself for getting this podcast off the ground. It was something I was thinking about for ages. And I just didn't have the mental capacity or the capability to just get it going. But I think there are a few things stopping me, and some of that was imposter syndrome. I think there's a little bit of, who's going to listen to this? No one's going to care. No one's going to want to hear anything I have to say. People probably screenshot bits of it and send it around to their friends and think, what a loser. Well, that's one of the hot tips I want everyone to take into 2023. And that is, the opinions of others are none of your business. And you shouldn't let them hold you back from doing something pretty awesome. Or if you want to do it, just do it. I had an experience earlier this year where I presented to a group of people. It was a small group of people, mind you. I think probably no more than 20, at this kind of odd breakfast event. And I was speaking on my usual topic, but I had to drag it out a bit. They wanted 1.5 hours of content. They wanted it for these very particular types of people. And ordinarily that isn't a problem. And normally I get exceptional feedback. But this group, they weren't really responsive. They didn't want to engage. And there was this one girl who just kept looking at me with these evil eyes. They provided a feedback form to me, something like, oh yeah, we think feedback's really important, blah, blah, blah. And sometimes it is, but I think it depends on how it's delivered. But some of the stuff that was contained in there didn't reflect me, didn't reflect what I spoke about, and didn't reflect really what some of the other people in the room said. It was really contradictory. But what I learned from that experience is that I'm not for everyone, and I don't have to be. And the opinions of other people shouldn't stop me from doing something just because, they think something about me. The next day after receiving that feedback, I presented to another group of people, this time probably about 30 to 40. I was only meant to be there for 30 minutes. But after I presented, they wanted to keep asking me questions. They wanted to learn more about what I was doing and why I was doing it and how they can learn for, these practical and useful tips that I teach in the communication and public speaking space. I ended up being there for 3 hours. That experience made me realize, there are some people who get it and some that don't. And I shouldn't let the opinion of other people stop me from doing something because they might think something about me. So making this podcast for me was a big step in the right direction in terms of my confidence. I was able to demonstrate and show that, I feel really confident in what I do. I'm really confident in my voice. And I'm confident in what I'm doing with this business. My little consultancy, it's small. I don't get a significant amount of business at the moment because it is the early days, but it has grown significantly. It has grown so much, and I've been able to achieve a lot as well. Not long ago, in fact, a couple of weeks ago, I was named the 2022 International Speaker of the Year at the International Coaches Awards. This was huge. Me, this guy from Tasmania who speaks, every few weeks at an event, maybe, and works with a client or two every month or so, through my coaching, is named the International Speaker of the Year. For me, that was just such an incredible, exciting effort. And I didn't think I was going to win. I didn't think I had the potential to win, but I did it. I was named the winner. And it just meant a lot to me to show that, this is my progress. This is where I've come. I've been able to do this thing. This little person from Tasmania has been able to do this thing. So everyone should be able to do it. Another lesson I want people to take into 2023 is courage over confidence is important. You gain courage through doing something. You just have to do it a little bit at a time. So I think I said courage over confidence, but it's actually courage over comfort. Sorry, I'm not going to edit this either. You get the raw recording today, so please enjoy. Courage over comfort. Why should we sit in our comfort and not let things happen when we can go out there and do something pretty awesome? It just takes a little bit of courage to do it. And once you feel that courage, you gain confidence. Courage builds confidence. One of the things that we talk about when training our TEDx speakers is, you've got the ability to do these tough, difficult things. Getting up there and remembering 18 minutes of content is huge. It's significant. And it's a really important thing to speak about. But having the courage to put your hand up to say, yes, I can do it, making it through that selection stage, and then delivering and having an incredible video at the end of the day for the world to see is a lasting legacy. And it just takes a little bit of courage to get you to that point. And I think that is so important and something we should all be taking into the next year. Every day, in fact. Start now. Just be courageous. I love it. I'm excited. I mean, what else? What else has this year brought? I think it's, continue to bring a whole heap of challenges. I think I mentioned the thing about balancing and doing different things. And that's always going to be a challenge. But one of the things we need to learn is, I think everyone should learn, is how to really effectively do work-life integration. How do we balance what we do in work, in life, and make everything work together? I think that one's going to be a watching brief. I think we'll all figure out how to do that one day at a time. I think with these hybrid environments that we're working in at the moment, that becomes a bit questionable because sometimes one can take over the other. But hey, whatever works for you, works for you. But I hope, everyone is happy at the end of the day. So I think that's all I'm going to rant about. Thank you so much for listening and being part of the Craft Messages That Matter conversations. Thank you for listening to this little podcast. Please rate, review, and share it with your friends. I think, all that does, it helps a little bit at a time to just, get my name out there, get this episode out there, and, enjoy some of the content that I am producing. Please subscribe, follow, rate, review, all of that fun stuff. Feel free to go to my website and download some of the free things I have available. My most popular downloadable is called the Ultimate Presentation Structure Guide, and it can help you to really learn how to structure to create a presentation of your dreams. I have a discount going at the moment as well, which closes on Christmas. It's for a one-on-one coaching session with a $200 discount. So I'd love to work with you if you want to put your hand up, take that courage over comfort, and join me in your speaking journey. Please follow all of my social media. I'd love to see you at CMTM_podcast on Instagram, or of course my personal page at TheoCap88. And of course, find me on LinkedIn. I would love to have you there. I would love to chat to you. I post regular content, which I hope is pretty interesting and exciting and engaging. So please see it there. If you're listening to this not long after I share it, it is nearly Christmas time. So Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy New Year. Whatever you're celebrating, enjoy it. And we'll catch you in 2023.